welcome in. I've got a collective reading for y'all today. I just simply got the title through and the nudge to grab decks that I don't use very often, which is very interesting. Okay, this is all upside down now. This is interesting. Okay. Um, yeah, so in case you haven't already noticed, the title of this is Question Everything. Question Everything. I don't know about you, but it's like I'm right back to the beginning of my awakening. And I am personally questioning everything. Everything that I was shown since I've awakened, everything that I believed, really finding what fits and what doesn't. It's been an interesting few weeks, to say the least, since the eclipses that we've had. So, but wowzer, wowzer, we got the High Priestess coming out here. True knowledge, peace, and inner light. The 13th path, the divine feminine. Number 13 resonates with the divine feminine energy. That's just incredible. The higher consciousness, the stream of higher consciousness that's coming in. The tree of life, map, support, and connection. This is what we're on, right? We're on this journey, this divine ascension journey, and it's connecting all aspects of ourselves with all aspects of everything that's out there. I asked Spirit to give me the vocabulary to bring through messages that I felt wanted to come through, but I didn't have. I don't feel I have the right verbiage, to relay the messages. But so I'm really praying that I can do this message justice, because I can feel it coursing through me. Feel my crown and my ultra major and my third eye just expanding more, my heart chakra expanding more. I feel like there are other chakras, lesser focused on chakras. We're taught the 7 chakras. I even teach a chakra class, especially for beginners. But there's the fifth dimensional chakras, and a lot of them coming online, especially if they've been dormant for the last few years. I've been noticing things coming online since 2020. We all know what happened then, the great consciousness, the great awakening, right? So this tree of life, just that's what it says. It's saying to me is all these new chakras coming online. And I was saying, can't remember which video it was last week. I was saying that Spirit has been brought through, that this year is 2025 was the great becoming. This is the great awakening. And or the great remembering. Thank you, Spirit, for reminding me of that. Yeah, you see the little light bulb go on. So the great remembering, and that's where I've been in my journey lately. Just to share my story with you, is it's like Spirit's been taking me back to when I first became aware of being on this spiritual journey. And like I said before, it's like it's like going through your closet every 6 months or every year, look like every winter, or and trying on all your jeans and trying on all your shirts. You've evolved, you've lost some weight, you've expanded. And let me silence that, because it's gonna be a non-stop group thing for a bunch of vendors, so I don't want want to hear it. But yeah, it's like, yeah. So I was saying it's trying on everything again and seeing what fits and what doesn't. The beliefs, the well, the stories, the visions that I had of how my journey has come about. Um, is there more to it than what I was originally told, or was I told what I was told? Because what was not told but shown, was I shown what I was shown at that time only in the capacity of what I was able to receive it in. But I'm going to say, Spirit, in this conversation right now, is there were things that were way over my head, and but I know I locked it away somewhere, and now maybe that's what's happening. Now I'm bringing it out, and I'm able now to receive the download that was brought through before. Um, so like I said, that's where I've been on my journey. I would really love to have conversation with y'all. Where have you been? What has been coming up for you? What has been being shown to you? And I gotta say, especially since this last eclipse cycle, February, March, and it's been a really interesting time of feeling maybe like I've been going backwards, even though I know we can't go backwards, but we do return to certain things to reassess, to look at, to readjust, try on, see if it fits. If it doesn't, we discard it so something new can come in, because whatever we're discarding, that space can't be left empty. And I feel like we're doing, as a collective, we're doing so much clearing that it's allowing all these new chakras to be reintroduced to us. I mean, we have 114 chakras in the system, and we're only taught the first 7, right? Why is that? There's so much more to us. There's so much more to what we've been told. I don't know. This feels like a message that would have come through like years and years and years ago. Um, Understanding we've got been a silence, awareness, and divine feminine. Again, this is the rise of the divine feminine in each and every one of us. It's remembering your Sophia, yeah, the Christos inside of you, that you are the divine spark. Um, okay. I'm sorry, I've got to adjust my lighting here again. I don't know what it does on your end when I'm doing this, but for me, it's a beautiful sunny day out, and I typically, when I'm sitting here, it's got this haze in front of the camera, and thankfully it does not today. Wow. My So on the bottom of the deck, we've got severity, Gabura, might, discipline, and karma, and we've got the wheel of fortune, quest, and abundance. Um, this is what's being uncovered, I feel like. Yeah, the determination, got 2 cards of determination, the 8 and the 18 number cards. We've got the chariot and splendor. Determination, communication, initiative, determination, discipline, and concentration. There is a dedicated effort to dig deeper, to know more, to remember more. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going. Got the divine feminine and the divine masculine together here. The moon and the sun. Finding the balance within that. There's something here about the truth of what inner union and what union looks like on this journey. There's a clearing of karma. This is the divine time for, don't want to say the great awakening, another level of it. This is the great remembering. Gosh, I really wish I had because it feels like I need different vocabulary to bring this through. But maybe I don't. Maybe that's just myself thinking that I need, I need help. Whoa, hang on here. Don't fall. Don't fall. Did anything fall? I don't think so. A whole bunch of the debt wants to escape here. Uh, we're dumping a lot for sure. A lot of identities being dropped. How you identify with money is changing. How you identify with earning money, survival, um, your security, your safety. Give you a little bit of a peek of my mural back there on the wall. Worked on it again today, so it's getting there. It's getting there. Look at that, Hangman. 2 major arcanas out of the gate. Temperance. There's been some very deep healing collectively going on. I think we already are aware of that. There's been a great deal of enlightenment. A lot of scripts being turned on their head. You don't have to watch the news to know that. You can just have a conversation with your neighbor. It's been quite eye-opening. Archangel Michael here, his energy coming in for the collective. Wow. We've got the 9 of Swords. Yeah, Archangel Michael coming in, clearing a lot of the illusion and the lies that we told ourselves that have just kept us trapped in it's just a lower mindset. The only I'm gonna keep repeating it because I just feel like there's a vocabulary out there somewhere that a collective consciousness would really understand, and I don't have it. Maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm searching for it. Um, Maybe that's my problem. I'm looking out there, but I should be looking in here. You know. Okay, I hear that, Mary. Higher self there. I'm sorry. We got the Queen of Cups here. Great heart opening, divine feminine energies. Some of us are going to be put in a position to guide, teach, show others, those that are maybe just awakening to this journey, those that are just starting to ask the big questions, like why am I here? What is my purpose? What the F? What have I been believing all my life that it just doesn't fit anymore? There's going to be a very large part of the collective, and I feel like we've got to be very discerning about who that is as well. If I don't resonate for you, then there's someone else out there that would. And same with me. If I watch your channel, if you've got a channel or a blog or something, and maybe it resonated at one point in time, and maybe it doesn't now. I know there's someone else out there that and these messages are finding me. There's just something here about others that I'm just really seeing this as those who are just waking up. And if you go back and you remember when you woke up, it kind of felt like you were going a little bit batshit crazy, right? And especially because people were telling you were, because they couldn't relate with what you were speaking about, things that you were remembering, things that you were seeing in dream state or in awakened visions. This could be very overwhelming, especially when the clairs and the senses reawaken, and so there's a group of individuals who are awakening right now that need compassion from the collective. What else here? Oh, well, I'm going to take that just flipped up and showed itself to me. I'm going to take those two that flipped up, because we've got the King of Cups right next to the Queen of Cups. This could be a lot of divine partnerships coming online right now, but it's the inner balance. I love this. Seven of coins. There's um, for those that this is, going to hit about a divine partnership. Uh, Things are being this is like weeding out the wheat from the chaff. Like I was saying, trying on the old clothes, going through and reassessing everything that, all the seeds that have been planted within us, first of all, not talking about the seeds that we've planted for our forward movement, but the seeds that have been planted within us, and going back and seeing what can be expanded on. Is something done? Maybe there's a chapter that's done and closed out. Um, and then the others are, something that, that we feed, that we grow, we nurture. There's a great deal of compassion here. This is about being compassionate and gentle with ourselves, very heart opened, wide heart opened, collectively. If you feel that I want to say, if you've had, quite possibly, like pressure here. I don't want to say pain, but pressure here in the front of your chest, but also exactly in the same spot in the back of your chest. Okay, in on your back. That is the front and the back of your heart chakra that is expanding. And um, if you've been experiencing that, good for you. You've gotten the download, you've gotten the activations, through whatever means. And you were probably questioning everything that you were told, everything that you've ever done, um, and looking where you can invest and nurture and grow something, um, more fruitful for yourself. Especially in thoughts. What thoughts can you feed yourself instead of the old thoughts? You know, and there is a little bit of a nudge here for me to say, this is about you making sure you stay out of fear, making sure you stay, out of other people's drama, which we already know that, but sometimes even the best of us can get sucked in with if to no fault of our own, right? It just energetically finds a hook and pulls us in. There's the divine feminine again, the Empress coming out, birthing something new. Uh, uh, oh my goodness, that's a lot. Hang on here. What we got here? We've got a great deal falling all over the place. Oh, Miss Luna. Hey, Miss Luna. We've got the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Look at that. The truth is going to set us all free. Nine of Cups? Yes, Nine of Cups. And wishes coming true here. The divine feminine really coming into full rise here. Interesting way to put that. And I've got these two that flipped up in the middle of the deck. Seven of Wands and the Devil energy. Of course, this energy is always going to be around us, right? Um, but I love this depiction because the cage is open. The choice is yours. You're going to stay in there and continue floating around, and some will, and that's okay. But the others, there's the Ten of Wands that flew on the side of, um, the table here. But others are gonna see where all of this fighting and all of this restriction and all of this, um, structure, that the programming, all of it has become such a burden, um, and it's going to be put down. This is, coming into full understanding that, I feel like this is the block, right now in the collective. Made, but this, I love that they use the word block, because to me a block is, nothing but an opportunity to do what? To see the truth and see the truth of everything we've ever known and done, thought, believed. Uh, get over here, that belongs here. We're being gifted with beautiful opportunities to set ourselves free, to set healthy boundaries, to know the truth, of who we are, Male or female, we are, the divine feminine is rising within all of us, and that is the truth. Um, her power is, uh, I'm hearing the word unrelentless. What does, I've actually got to look that up. All right. So I'm kind of struggling with that word unrelentless, because what did they say? The divine feminine is unrelentless, um, meaning continuing at the same high intensity, pace, or severity without stopping, easing up, or showing mercy. This feels like something that refuses to soften. This is the divine feminine refusing to not be in her heart space, um, refusing to continue going down that path, refuse to. Um, this is how do I explain this? Uh, yeah, she is. She's not letting the truth stop her and bring her back into this Nine of Swords. She's using it to her favor. She's pushing through. That's what unrelentless is saying to me. She's not stopping. She's not letting anything stop her anymore. She's dedicated, she's determined. She's not letting this energy weigh down her path, weigh her down anymore, weigh her thoughts anymore, stop her, block her. Um, she's not allowing that anymore. She's strong on the table. King and Queen of Cups, Temperance, very, to me, divine feminine energy. We've got the High Priestess, the divine feminine with the number 13, the Empress here. Um, yeah, I've got one, two, three male energies, but these are all the controlling, dominant, male, masculine energies, the shadow energies, right? Okay. I hope that all came out right. She's not stopping. It is her time to fully rise right now. And she's not backing down. Fully stand in her truth. And she's not backing down. It's not brute force. She's doing it again. She's doing it with this grace. I don't have the right words. Talk to me about that. Yeah, there's no brute force here. She's just not backing down. We've got Two of Cups. Very interesting. So collectively, those that are on the twin flame, I'm just going to put this out there for really quick. It's not always about twin flame, but those of you that are on the twin flame path and identify with that or resonate with that, is these unions are coming in, and it's because of the full rise of the divine feminine in both counterparts that this is manifesting. For those that doesn't resonate, that don't resonate with that, this is the inner partnership with your divinity, your divine consciousness, um, cosmic consciousness, however you speak it to yourself. This is coming fully into union, and because of that's happened, we've got the alchemy, the divine balance here with the masculine and feminine energies, with the Temperance card. because because that's occurred, then all of this abundance and these wishes, and I even struggle with using the word wish, but all of these, when you realize, thank you, Spirit, they're like, man, you're struggling, Mary Jo. I am struggling. It shouldn't be this hard, but I'm part of me is just making it difficult for myself right now to bring this message through for y'all. And that speaks to me of me. Maybe I'm resisting a little bit of my own energy, of and that's why I'm having trouble with the words here. This is you recognizing you are the abundance, you are the blessing, you are the divine consciousness that flows through you. You are the divine consciousness that is having a human experience. Um, it's having a human experience through you and human adventure through you. This is the recognition, the remembrance of that. Um, and that just raises your vibration to joy and happiness. And it's like I'm hearing Midas touch, there's really not much you need to do other than to remember who you are. Um, and again, I want to go back to those who are doing this right now, who that's where you're at right now. There are others who are just awakening to this, that are going to benefit from your story, from your not to take away from their experience at all, but just to say, okay, I'm okay. If they're okay, I'm okay. Because it's a very daunting path to wake up to, especially if you have been living in the full human experience, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You know this, if you remember from your awakening, that um, it's daunting. It's overwhelming. It's daunting. But we agreed for this to happen. I want to get out of my own way, but it's just, I don't know. Is that the Capricorn in me? Is that the ego in me? It's just really, I know that who spirit, I can see what spirit sees in me. I'm struggling to see what spirit sees in me, which is an interesting thing to say doing this video, right? So, all right, moving forward, truth, clarity, of all the Three of Swords, Five of Wands, truth and clarity coming through, things coming out to light. That's it's already there. All the conflict that's going on in the collective energy in the world. Not going to mention political scenes for sure, individually, but that conflict, it can't continue the way that it is. We need to come together. Got a hair just floating down on my face here. We need to come together in unity, in shared compassion. There is one hair, and I don't know where it is. Is this it? No, that's not it. You see it? Oh my gosh. All right. Onward and upward. Judas. Tower. Look at that. This has already happened. This tower has already happened. So whenever you're watching this, whether this is an individual breakdown, or if this is a collective, if you can pinpoint it to something that's happened in the collective, in the news, which I like I said, I don't watch, but you can't stop this from happening, especially if it hasn't happened already. But I'm feeling when Tower comes out, it's like now, it's imminent, it's happening. Things are gonna fall. You can try to hold up a sandcastle all you want, but once the tide comes, comes in, it's going to be washed away. There's no, it's futile. There's no sense in that. I don't know, that somebody needed to hear that. Something about that, that mention of the sandcastle was very specific for someone, and I don't know why. Um, Interesting image, because that's what I was shown is, a bunch of kids trying to protect their sandcastle from the wave that's coming in, and you can't do that. You've got to let fall what needs to fall. Um, there's a divine there's something divine behind it for sure, that I want to say for some of you, you've been shown something's on shaky ground for a while, and I feel like the Tower in reverse is saying to you, I'm giving you the opportunity right now, whoever this is resonating with, to do something about it before I step in. Not me, the universe. Before the universe steps in and takes over. Uh, it's now time to make a decision about what you're going to hold on to and what you're going to let go, and really take a look at why you're holding on to whatever it is you're holding on to. I'm being shown the Four of Pentacles. That's why I'm mentioning, some holding on to something. um, so it could be, an old way of making money, like I mentioned before, an old your relationship, your belief about money and stability and survival, and why you're here. And you could be someone who, this is for an example, you could be somebody who has lived a lot of years of believing that being abundant is hard work, and um, you've got to work just to pay a bill, um, and you seem like you just can't catch up or get ahead of everything. There's something here about that. We do know collectively that the energy of currency is changing. I've heard Sadie say it multiple times from me in Reiki Light, and I love it because it really hits me square on, is that you are your currency. This you are the conduit, and that's what I'm talking about here. Remembering that you are the divine consciousness that flows through you. You are abundance. Imagine taking a breath, and when you take that breath in, you're breathing in abundance. You're breathing in the divine consciousness, and you're breathing in its abundance, and then it flows all through all your cells, and then it breathes out from you as well. So it's like, there's something here about that flow of uh, I don't know. I'm sorry, sweating my butts off here. My butts. I got two butts. um, oh my gosh. All right, the spirit's trying to lighten things up for me here, because they're my guides are like they're cheering me on up there. They know I'm doing my best to um, interpret the frequencies they're bringing through for me and for you guys, and I appreciate them being here, but and I appreciate if you're watching this. I do. So, question everything, the title says, right? Question everything. What else do you want to say about that, Spirit? Question everything. You were never, ever separate from the divine consciousness. You were never, ever separate from abundance. You were never, ever separate from prosperity. You were never separate. That's what's coming through. The universe has not forgotten you. You are the universe. You have forgotten you. Now it's time. That Ace of Swords is like loud on the table. Now it's time to remember your truth. No longer putting your time and energy in that belief system that you are separate, or that you have been abandoned by the universe or God or whatever it is you believe in. You know better. You know better. The divine feminine. They just had me pull this card out again and look at it. The divine feminine is remembering who she is on such, oh my gosh, she's risen so many times, masculine, feminine, masculine, just back and forth for, I've been on this journey 20 years, 22 years, and goodness gracious, this time feels different. This time just feels so different with the rise of the divine feminine. And even saying divine feminine feels not a big enough term for what I'm sensing here. Guidance here for the divine feminine. Oh, wow, goodness. Five of Swords. Just get out of your head. Don't listen to any of that. It's all lies. Gosh, look at this, Seven of Swords. I'm gonna say this is quite possibly the universe saying, take a look at all this that's going on in the brain, in the mind, in the old constructs of what we've believed. Instead of trying to get out of your mind, let's get into it. Maybe decipher it. I really don't know. But there are so many illusions coming to light about ourselves individually, the collective journeys we're on. Why? I need more on that. For the guidance for the divine feminine. Setting the mind straight. There's something here about the mind and the higher mind, the lower mind, and the heart. Healing the connection between those. Four of Swords here. For some of us, I want to say that there could be, spirit could be, you could be really tired lately, and rest. Let yourself rest, because the spirit's just giving you a break from everything that you're downloading while you're awake. But we do still download while we're asleep, but sometimes our sleep is, sometimes your sleep is different. It's not the same every night. And I've noticed that there are nights when I wake up in the morning, I go, oh, yeah, I had a ton of downloads. I can feel it. I know it. I remember it. Then there are other nights it's like, boy, that was a great rest, because I know I downloaded a lot during the day. So, fit that however that fits for you. But there's definitely gonna need to be some time out, some respite energy here. I also want to say that a lot of the illusions could just be dissolving as you're sleeping. All of this, giving your brain a break, is how I want to say that. That's the guidance for the divine feminine. Rest, see the illusions. A lot of swords. Look at all the swords. Eight of Swords, Queen of Swords. This is about getting the mind right. Getting it in alignment with who you are. Getting aligned with the divine consciousness instead of being aligned with the lower energies. Taking it's like no longer being a prisoner of their mind and of the collective mind, setting themselves free. Eight of Swords, being trapped. Queen of Swords with that sword, setting herself free. Divine Feminine is finally breaking free. Seeing the cracks in the system. I like that. Seeing the cracks in the system. Collectively, and there's another sword sticking out. I'm not going to take it, but I'm just noticing all the swords. We go with, nice cups a little bit here over here, and we kind of morph, have a little bit of pentacles thrown in, very little pentacles. Then we go into the fire with the Ten of Wands and the Devil and the Five of Wands, and a lot of red over here, and then it's all swords. All swords right there. What have you been telling yourself? What have you been leaving? Even since, just, the last, 10, 12 years or something like that, it's just like, even go back there and, what have you, if you were part of the group of us that had the spiritual awakening in 2012, 2008 to 2012, it's going back and really, taking a look at, do those truths fit for you anymore? A lot of them are going to. It's like, because a lot of us are returning to remembering why we're here, why we were shown we were waking up in the first place. And there's just so much power and empowerment, but this softness to it as well. Like I said, this is not brute force that the Divine Feminine is coming across as. I'm hearing the word regal. It's shoulders back. You don't need to shout or scream, but boy, when you step into a room, your frequency, your energy is known. But it's not about that. It's about being that for yourself. Remembering that that's who you are already. Get what I'm putting down there? You picking up what I'm putting down? My 8-year-old grandson said that to me. I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down, Nona. I couldn't believe you came up with that. It was so cute. And moving forward, integrating all of the new energies, integrating all the new downloads. No longer confused as to what direction you're going in. Some of us, Mercury retrograde, it was really different this time around. I'm recording this on the 27th of March 2026, and we're still in the post shadow period. But boy, there was a lot of confusion. I couldn't. I don't want to say couldn't, because for a moment I couldn't get out of my mind, but I finally was able to. But it was just like, not always completely, but there was a moment where I was like, finally, these drops of clarity as you start integrating and balancing the energies out, for yourself. It's beautiful, and it's like, now which direction do we want to go in? I feel like I'm beginning to ramble here, Spirit. So can we wrap this up? Moving forward for the Divine Feminine. There's that Ten of Swords. It certainly wanted to show itself, because that's the swords I showed you sticking out of the deck. Ten of Swords. Endings. Letting things in. Just letting things fall where they go. Because look at this Two of Pentacles. He's like just throwing caution to the wind and letting the universe take over. This is no more control. Having to control everything. So there's definitely the identity with the ego that's being brought up here for me. Is there's a new detachment from that identity. moving forward for the divine feminine or for the collective. I mean, definitely. Whew. Huh. How I gotta say it. I got the King of Wands here. This is the fall of the shadow masculine patriarchal. That word just kind of went right in and out. I couldn't grab it. Yeah, this is the fall of the, for lack of a better word. Okay, that the fall of that. I kind of want to say, because I'm really not getting much message through this, but I guess I want to say is moving forward, yes, things are going to get intense. I mean, a lot of fire over here with the swords. Oh, it's going to get intense, but it's not like, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. This is like, we can take the heat. We don't have to be a part of it. We know how to, the divine feminine, we're rising through all of this chaos that's happening. I keep hearing that word regally again, regal. Very gracefully. Final message, please, for this collective reading from the tarot. And I'll get some divine masters for y'all. Oh, okay, thank you. We've got judgment coming through. Resurrection, baby. It's funny, Easter's in a week and a half. And 10 of coins. 10 of coins. Look at that. It's beautiful energy. Solar plexus energy, sacral energy, heart chakra energy. I'm looking at the colors. Yeah, being risen to your divine birthright, your legacy, why you're here, your purpose, why you were created in the first place. Where'd my deck go? I hope this all made sense, but Question Everything kind of doesn't feel like the right title, but I'm going to leave it. Final messages from the divine. Oh, what's this? Get back over here. Things are definitely going to come to light for sure. But the divine feminine is rising through all of this chaos. And it's funny, that's what it feels like. Okay, forgive me again. I'm talking. That's what it feels like. It's like the chaos in the outer world is like almost like the magician energy, the shadow of the magician is like, hey, look over here at all this chaos, and then what we don't realize, or what those who are focused on all that chaos don't realize, is how the divine feminine is rising through all of this. Get what I'm saying there? That's fun. That's really fun. Typically, it kind of goes, well, you want to come through. Heightened awareness, Buddha, make peace with your thoughts and your world. With all those swords, that's a beautiful card to come out. I love that. Yeah, getting right with your mind. There may have been time we've been going, stop it, why am I having those thoughts? Why am I thinking about that? Why am I going down that road? But just being at peace with it. And I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of people, male or female, it doesn't matter, is that divine feminine inside of us is, because she's rising and she's tapping into her, understanding her intuition and who she truly is. It's just, that helps us detach from the control that the mind and the chaos out there, or the chaos in here, has had over us, right? It's gonna be a year. I'm gonna put that out there. It's gonna be a year. One of those years. Okay. What else here? If you've stayed with me, thank you so much. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Melchizedek, divine knowledge, higher learning, commit to your vision through study. That's where that question everything came, because I got a download about education. And I was like, that doesn't really fit for me, because I was looking at it personally, and Spirit brought through that question everything. That's what the education is. That's how we gain knowledge and remember our higher wisdom and the consciousness and everything. So yeah, that commit to your vision, that, hey, get back here, that's what this energy feels like. She's determined, she's committed to her rise. She's committed to her remembering. So Divine Feminine in all of us may actually be going back and starting to ask all those questions we started asking years ago. Asking them again. And there she is, Joan of Arc. Yeah, and Kali Ma, man, oh man. Do not be afraid. Stand up for your beliefs. This is powerful divine feminine energy coming out here. Kali Ma, divine severance. Cut the cords to dramas, fears, and limitations. That's what we're doing within ourselves, and it's going to be rippling out across the collective for sure. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, I hope you're well. Stay well. I love you. We'll see you next time.